Here before, a pending government shutdown. But in about 48 hours, we may be talking about more than just furloughs. The president is warning of mass firings, preventing only by an 11th hour rescue. And that's not likely because the House isn't scheduled to convene until after the funding runs out. Good Sunday morning. I'm Phil Prazen from NBC5.
And I'm Gromer Jeffers, political writer with the Dallas Morning News. Funding to keep the government open runs out on Tuesday.
The Republican-controlled House passed a short-term bill to keep the government open through November 21st, but the Senate requires 60 votes to pass a bill and rejected both the House GOP version and another Democratic proposal. At the center of the debate, Democrats want to continue taxpayer payments to insurance companies to keep premiums lower under the Affordable Care Act.
Democrats do not support the partisan Republican spending bill because it continues to gut the health care of the American people.
President Trump canceled a meeting with Democratic leaders in Congress because he didn't believe the meeting would be productive. On Thursday, the Trump administration threatened to fire some federal employees if a deal isn't reached. Usually, if the government shuts down, most workers would go on unpaid leave with back pay guaranteed when a deal is reached. But now the White House is raising the stakes, directing federal agencies to prepare for mass firings in addition to furloughs. I spoke with Republican Congressman Keith Self earlier this week about this budget fight, the need for a long-term budget solution, and the ever-increasing national debt. Here is part of that conversation. This probably isn't a controversial statement, but this doesn't seem the right way to govern, week to week, month to month. How do we do this?
I couldn't agree more, Phil. Continuing resolutions are not the way the law is set up. We need to be passing all 12 appropriations bills through the House by the end of June to get them to the Senate so we can get them to the President before the deadline, which is September 30th. This is not the way to govern.
What is the big sticking point? Why can't every side just give a little bit and come to an agreement?
Because the 12 appropriations bills, some are harder than others.
Mm-hmm.
We've passed three through, we've passed all of them through committee. We've passed three through the floor of the House. But it's just it's a broken system that we have 12 appropriations bills that are so different and so convoluted and so complex. So then we now come to the year end, and we have broken the model of the omnibus, though, because this is a clean CR. This whole spending back to FY24, that's the positive here.
To get past the Senate Democrats, they want a little bit more of, they want to go back and restore some of the cuts that happened under the big, beautiful bill, from what I understand it, when it comes to Medicaid and some of the Affordable Care Act subsidies. What's wrong with that from your perspective?
Well, they want to restore the $1.5 trillion that were cut through the One Big Beautiful Bill, now known as the Working Families Tax Cut. So you mentioned Medicaid, but we've also got rescissions in there. That wasn't part of the One Big Beautiful Bill, so they want to undo the signature accomplishments of this Congress over this year. So that's what they want to put back in, basically undo those two big bills.
But on the policy side, why stick with those cuts? I mean, this is Medicaid, this is health insurance for kind of low-income folks. Why cut them?
Because we want it to be insurance for low-income folks. Remember, Medicaid is seniors, disabled, low-income, and children. That's who it's meant for. We want to make two things. First of all, illegals are not, they should not be getting Medicaid. Taxpayers should not be paying for their health care. And secondly, able-bodied adults that were put on during the COVID era, they need to be in the economy working. We need them to be contributing to the economy, not taking health care from the taxpayers.
And some of these Affordable Care Act subsidies. From what I understand, I mean, the insurance companies, they're going to get their money. It's going to come from the U.S. taxpayers, or they're going to increase premiums on their customers. How do you deal with that?
I disagree with your premise.
Okay.
The insurance companies are going to indeed push for higher premiums. Now, what I object to is there are people on this program who have never submitted a claim, may not even know they're on the program. The government is going to be passing money directly to the insurance companies. That's a scam in my lexicon. So I tell you what we need to do is no Republican has ever voted for any Obamacare subsidy. These are COVID era, temporary subsidies. Well, when's the last time we had a COVID emergency? It's years ago. So right now we need to be cutting those out. And frankly, the insurance companies may be required to actually look at what they need to cover the cost, rather than just charging the federal government whatever they can get away with. So we need to fix the system, and that is not extending those COVID era subsidies.
Well, any type of budget conversation also has a national debt conversation to it. I know it's important to you. I looked up the numbers. Every minute, $3.97 million goes to the national debt. Me and you talk for 10 minutes, that's a $40 million conversation. Isn't it time where we have to do both, raise taxes and drastically cut spending?
No.
Okay.
The one big beautiful bill and the tariffs, all of that, in the long run, and even the president admits there will be short-term pain, in the long run, we want to get the economy humming again, so that people can afford their groceries, afford the house that they want to live in. The tariffs are bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars, and we want that income to come in, but we also want to eventually, over the next several years, bring manufacturing back, which are good-paying jobs. So the tariffs are a two-pronged, long-term solution to one, countries are paying, companies are paying us, and it's hundreds of billions of dollars now. But over the long term, we want the better paying jobs in manufacturing. So I disagree, because that will reduce our cost in interest payments with this income. And frankly, we have got to start getting a handle on this $37 trillion that we are in debt. Just to put that in perspective for people, that's 37,000 billion. It's incomprehensible.
Am I hearing you correctly that the tariffs could bring in revenue in lieu of raising an income tax? You think that that will help make the numbers work?
The economy is everything.
Yeah.
The economy will be the issue in the midterms.
Yep.
That's why we passed the Working Families Tax Cut Act so early, so that it has time to take effect, because we need the economy to get going. That's why the president has been so harsh on interest rates. Interest rates need to come down and get the economy humming again. While tariffs are working internationally, interest rates could work domestically.